The journey of Japanese fishermen to catch giant tuna with long lines is a challenging and skilled job. Ocean tuna, especially bluefin tuna, is one of the fish with high value in the seafood market and is hunted a lot in Japanese waters. Preparing boats and equipment. Before starting the trip, fishermen need to prepare specialized boats and fishing equipment, of which long lines are the main tools. Long lines are often several hundred meters to thousands of meters long and are designed to withstand great force. Detecting and tracking schools of fish. Fishermen use modern equipment such as radar and GPS positioning systems to search for schools of tuna. Tuna often live in deep sea areas and move in schools. Drop long lines. After detecting a school of fish, fishermen will drop long lines with large hooks and live bait, usually small fish. They often drop lines at night because tuna tend to go out to feed at this time. Pulling up the fish. When the tuna bites, the fishermen start pulling the line. This is a very hard process because giant tuna can weigh up to hundreds of kilograms. And they will struggle violently to escape. It takes many hours, even a whole day, to pull a large tuna out of the water. Preserving the fish. After the fish is brought onto the boat, the fishermen will immediately put it on ice to preserve it fresh. Giant tuna are often sold at large seafood markets in Japan for very high prices, sometimes up to millions of dollars for a fish. Harsh weather conditions. Fishermen often face storms or strong seas when in the middle of the ocean. Risk of accidents. Pulling up long fishing lines and facing large fish can cause serious accidents if not careful. This is a hard job but brings great rewards to experienced and brave fishermen. Ocean tuna is also an important source of income for the Japanese marine economy. Once the tuna is hauled onto the boat and properly stored, the journey doesn't end there. The next steps are equally important, including transporting and selling the tuna. Oceanic tuna, especially bluefin tuna, need to be kept in ideal conditions to maintain their freshness. Once caught, the fish are quickly brought back to land to prepare for auction or sale. The transport process often requires keeping the fish at extremely low temperatures. Close to freezing but not completely frozen. This helps maintain the quality of the fish, especially the red meat and fat, two important factors that make tuna valuable in the Japanese and international culinary markets. One of the highlights of the tuna trade in Japan is the fresh tuna auctions at the Toyosu Fish Market, formerly Tsukiji Fish Market. Here, giant tuna are displayed, and sushi chefs or traders will examine the quality of the fish to make a bid. Factors that determine the value of tuna include size, fat quality, meat color and freshness. The best tuna are often sold for very high prices, sometimes up to hundreds of thousands or even millions of US dollars for one fish. Bluefin tuna is the main ingredient for making sushi and sashimi in Japanese cuisine. The tuna meat is divided into many different parts. From Otoro, the fattest, most valuable part, to Akami, the less fatty, more common red meat. In high-end restaurants, bluefin tuna is processed and served immediately after being purchased, ensuring absolute freshness and quality. The skill and technique of sushi chefs play an important role in highlighting the delicate flavor of tuna. Due to its high commercial value, bluefin tuna is facing the risk of being overfished. Countries, including Japan, have introduced strict management policies on tuna fishing quotas to protect this precious marine resource. Many international organizations and fishermen have also begun to implement more sustainable fishing methods to ensure that tuna species can reproduce and develop in the natural environment. Today, Japanese fishermen also use modern technology such as drones, satellites and sensor systems to search for tuna schools more effectively. This helps reduce search time and improve the efficiency of each trip. The journey of catching giant tuna by Japanese fishermen is not only a job but also an art that requires patience, skills and a deep understanding of the ocean. Bluefin tuna is not only a source of income but also a symbol of success and perseverance of the fishermen here. Bluefin tuna not only has economic value but also plays an important role in Japanese culinary culture. Since ancient times, tuna has been a luxury food and a symbol of wealth, especially in coastal areas. Sushi and sashimi are world-famous traditional Japanese dishes, in which tuna is the main ingredient. Sushi such as tuna nigiri, tuna sushi, is a popular dish in Japan and in sushi restaurants around the world. The quality of bluefin tuna in these dishes is often highly appreciated due to the unique flavor and fatty texture of the fish. Japan is one of the largest consumers of bluefin tuna in the world. But outside of Japan, tuna is also exported to international markets, especially the United States, Europe and many other Asian countries. In these countries, the demand for fresh tuna, especially in sushi, is increasing. Auctions in Japan not only attract domestic restaurants but also international importers. This has created a global tuna supply chain, and bluefin tuna from Japan is often considered one of the most premium products on the market. The increased demand for tuna, especially bluefin tuna, has led to overfishing, which has significantly reduced wild tuna populations. Many reports say that bluefin tuna populations in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans have been drastically reduced in recent decades due to unsustainable fishing. In response, many international organizations such as the World Pacific Tuna Conservation Commission, WCPFC, have set strict catch quotas to protect this precious fish. Japan has also implemented stricter management policies, limiting the number of tuna fishing vessels and imposing regulations on the size of fish allowed to be caught. To reduce pressure on wild tuna populations, Japan and several other countries have begun developing technology to farm tuna in artificial environments. However, tuna farming is challenging because tuna is a fast-swimming fish and requires a large amount of space. However, with advances in science and technology, many tuna farms have succeeded in recreating the natural breeding environment for tuna. Thereby providing a more sustainable supply to the market. Tuna is a nutritious food source, providing high-quality protein, omega-3 and other nutrients such as vitamin B12, selenium and niacin. Omega-3 from tuna is very good for cardiovascular health, reducing the risk of heart disease and supporting brain development. However, there are some concerns about the mercury content in tuna, especially giant tuna. Experts recommend that tuna consumption should be moderate, especially for children and pregnant women, to avoid the effects of mercury. The longline fishing journey of Japanese fishermen for giant tuna is a symbol of courage and ingenuity, combined with a passion for a long-standing traditional craft. From hunting, preserving, to processing and commercializing, each step in this journey contains the ingenuity and tireless efforts of the Japanese people. However, along with the development of the tuna fishing industry, the issue of protecting the environment and marine resources must be given top priority to ensure sustainability for the future. Tuna fishing has a long history in Japan, originating from traditional manual methods. Initially, Japanese fishermen used simple fishing methods such as hand lines or nets to catch tuna. But over time and with the increase in demand, more advanced fishing techniques were developed. Longline fishing is one of the most popular modern methods, in which a long fishing line is cast out into the sea with multiple hooks and bait to increase the chance of catching fish. This method allows fishermen to cast deeper and farther, targeting larger deep-sea fish, such as bluefin tuna. In addition, rod and reel fishing techniques are also used for smaller trips or to catch larger tuna in a more manual way. This method requires skill and strength from the fishermen as they face giant fish struggling on the line. Climate change has had a serious impact on marine life, including tuna. Warming oceans are changing the migration patterns and distribution of tuna. These changes make it difficult for fishermen to predict the location of tuna schools, increasing the cost and time of each sea trip. In addition, changes in the marine ecosystem can affect the food chain, causing a shortage of food sources for tuna. This could lead to a decrease in tuna production in the future. In addition to the commercial fishing industry, Japan has also developed a recreational tuna fishing industry for tourists. This is a popular form of tourism in coastal areas of Japan, where tourists can rent boats and participate in tuna fishing as a recreational activity. These trips are often held in areas rich in fish resources, and although most tuna caught on recreational fishing trips are not very large, the experience of confronting a large and powerful fish is an attractive challenge for fishing enthusiasts. In Japanese folk art, the image of tuna appears quite commonly, often seen as a symbol of perseverance and strength. Tuna has been the inspiration for many traditional works of art, from woodblock prints, ukiyo-e, to sculptures. In folklore, tuna is also considered a fish that can bring luck and prosperity, especially in coastal fishing communities. Legendary stories about tuna and the sea have become part of traditional culture here. In addition to the famous bluefin tuna, there are many different species of tuna caught by Japanese fishermen. Some notable species include yellowfin tuna. This fish is smaller than bluefin tuna and is often used in sushi, sashimi or canned. Big-eye tuna. This species is also highly valued in the culinary industry and is often caught together with bluefin tuna because it lives in deep sea areas. Skipjack tuna. This is a tuna species often used to make katsuobushi, an important ingredient in Japanese cuisine, especially in dashi stock. Each species of tuna has its own value and is used in many different dishes, contributing to the enrichment of Japanese cuisine. The journey to catch giant tuna is not simply about hunting a fish but also represents a lifestyle, a tradition and a pride of Japanese fishermen. From the vast ocean to the bustling auctions, bluefin tuna has become a cultural icon, an indispensable part of Japanese and world cuisine. However, along with that growth, issues of conservation and management of marine resources need to be focused more than ever to ensure that the giant tuna will continue to survive and thrive for future generations. Protecting and maintaining bluefin tuna populations is not just a matter for Japan, but also an international cooperative effort. Organizations such as the Western and Central Pacific Tuna Commission, WCPFC, and the International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tunas, ICCAT, have established international agreements to monitor and manage tuna fishing. These organizations set annual catch quotas for participating countries, and monitor fish populations to ensure that they are not depleted too much. Coastal countries such as Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and many others are required to comply with these strict regulations and report their tuna catches. Some measures have been taken to protect important spawning areas and restrict fishing during the spawning season. Bluefin tuna play an important role in the marine ecosystem. As a high-level predatory fish, ponds, they control the populations of small fish and squid, helping to maintain balance in the marine ecosystem. The decline of tuna populations can cause major changes in the marine ecological structure, affecting the food chain and causing ecological imbalance. Protecting tuna is not simply about protecting an economic resource, but also protecting the global marine ecosystem. Scientists are continuing to study the role of tuna in the marine food chain to develop more effective conservation strategies. One of the initiatives to protect tuna resources is the sustainable fishing movement. Many organizations and fishing businesses are adopting more environmentally friendly fishing methods, such as using larger mesh nets to avoid catching too small fish, or fishing at times when it is not the breeding season. In addition, initiatives such as the Marine Stewardship Council (MSC) certification help consumers identify tuna products that come from sustainable sources. MSC certified products ensure that tuna is caught according to high environmental standards and that fish populations are not harmed. The tuna fishing industry is facing many challenges, from population